There's a shadow that falls over the world of peak physical performance. It's a quiet whisper in the locker room, a secret shared between gym partners, a pact made in pursuit of an almost inhuman ideal. This is the world of anabolic steroids, a place where the line between ambition and self-destruction becomes dangerously blurred. We see the impossibly sculpted bodies on stage, the record-shattering feats on the field, and we marvel at the dedication. But what we often don't see is the price. A price paid not in sweat and sacrifice alone but in health, sanity, and sometimes life itself. It's a strange and unsettling bargain, trading the vitality of your future for the fleeting glory of the present. I've always been drawn to subcultures, to the places where people push the boundaries of what is considered normal or acceptable. The world of performance-enhancing drugs is one of the most compelling. It's a community built on a shared secret, a collective gamble. They are chasing a dream of physical perfection, a dream sold to them by magazines and sponsored athletes. Yet, beneath the veneer of confidence and muscularity, there is often a current of anxiety and fear. The fear of being caught, the fear of losing their gains, and the quiet, nagging fear of what these powerful substances are truly doing to their bodies from the inside out. It's a high-stakes game played with their own biology. The conversation around steroids is often polarized, painted in broad strokes of good versus evil, cheaters versus champions. But the reality is far more nuanced and, in many ways, more tragic. It's a story of human desire, of the immense pressure to succeed in a world that lionizes winners and forgets everyone else. It's about young men, and increasingly women, who look in the mirror and see only their perceived flaws. They believe they have found a shortcut, a scientific key to unlock the potential that hard work alone cannot. But this key unlocks more than just muscle growth. It opens a Pandora's box of consequences that can haunt them for a lifetime. So, let's step into this world, not to judge but to understand, to peel back the layers of myth and bravado and confront the stark, often grim reality of what it means to chase perfection at any cost. We need to look past the bronzed physiques and the triumphant roars from the weight rack. We need to ask the difficult questions about the silent damage being done, about the lives cut short, and about the dark, inescapable truth that lies at the very heart of the steroid phenomenon. It is a world of immense highs and devastating lows, and the descent can be terrifyingly swift. To understand the allure, you first have to understand the science, or at least the promise of it. Anabolic androgenic steroids, the full name, are synthetic derivatives of testosterone, the primary male sex hormone. The word anabolic refers to the process of building up, specifically muscle tissue. The word androgenic refers to the development of male characteristics, like a deep voice and facial hair. In essence, these are man-made keys designed to unlock the body's most potent growth signals, turning them up to a level that nature never intended. They are the alchemist's promise of turning flesh and bone into something more. These substances were not born in clandestine labs for the purpose of creating super athletes. Their origins are medical. Doctors first synthesized them in the 1930s to treat conditions where the body produces abnormally low levels of testosterone, a state known as hypogonadism. They were also used to help patients with diseases like cancer and AIDS combat muscle wasting and regain lost weight. In a controlled clinical setting, under the watchful eye of a physician, they were tools for healing. But like so many powerful tools, they were destined to be repurposed, taken from the pharmacy and brought into the shadows of the gym. The way they work is both simple and profound. When introduced into the body, these synthetic hormones bind to cellular receptors, instructing the cells to dramatically increase protein synthesis. This is the engine of muscle growth. The process that normally takes months or years of painstaking effort can be accelerated, condensed into a fraction of the time. This is the core of their seductive power. They offer a way to bypass the body's natural limitations, to force growth where it would otherwise plateau. It's a biological hack, a way of rewriting your own genetic code, if only temporarily. But here is where the bargain begins to sour. The body is a system of delicate balances, of hormonal feedback loops refined over millennia of evolution. Flooding that system with massive supraphysiological doses of synthetic hormones throws everything into chaos. The androgenic side of the equation cannot be separated from the anabolic. While you are building muscle at an unnatural rate, you are also playing Russian roulette with every system regulated by these powerful chemical messengers. The promise of the alchemist is a powerful one, but it deliberately omits the fine print, the hidden clauses that dictate the true cost of this transformation. No one just starts taking steroids. There's a culture, a ritual, a methodology to the madness. The process is often referred to as cycling, a term that lends a veneer of scientific legitimacy to what is essentially a dangerous guessing game. A cycle is a period of time, typically ranging from 6 to 12 weeks, during which a user actively administers steroids. This is followed by an off-cycle period where they stop, hoping to allow their body's natural hormone production to recover. This on and off pattern is a desperate attempt to maximize the muscle-building effects while minimizing the devastating side effects. The methods of administration are varied and often clandestine. Some steroids come in oral form as pills to be swallowed. Others, considered more potent by many users, are injectable, requiring syringes and needles to deliver the substance directly into the muscle tissue. This brings its own set of dangers, from unsterilized needles leading to infections and abscesses, to the risk of transmitting blood-borne diseases like HIV or hepatitis. The acquisition is just as shady, sourced from gym dealers, illicit online pharmacies, or underground labs that operate with no oversight, meaning the purity, dosage, and even the identity of the substance is never guaranteed. The complexity deepens with a practice known as stacking. This is where users combine several different types of oral and injectable steroids at the same time. The theory, passed down through gym lore, is that different steroids have synergistic effects, creating a result greater than the sum of their parts. Another common technique is pyramiding, where the user starts with a low dose, gradually increases to a peak in the middle of the cycle, and then tapers back down. These are all strategies born not from medical science, but from a subculture of experimentation, a folk medicine for bodybuilders where the guinea pigs are themselves. The primary users are not just the professional athletes you see on television, though they are certainly part of the story. The vast majority are everyday people, amateur bodybuilders and young men driven by body dysmorphia. They are chasing an aesthetic, a look of overwhelming power and masculinity that they feel is unattainable naturally. They see the physiques of fitness influencers and professional bodybuilders and believe, often correctly, that such extreme muscularity is impossible without chemical assistance. They are not necessarily trying to cheat in a sport, they are trying to cheat their own reflection in the mirror, caught in a cycle of deception with themselves. The appeal of steroids. The reason people are willing to risk so much is because, in the short term, they appear to work wonders. The benefits they seek are dramatic and transformative. The primary goal is, of course, a rapid and significant increase in muscle mass and strength. Users report being able to train harder, longer, and recover faster than ever before. Workouts that would normally leave them sore for days become manageable, allowing for a greater volume and intensity of training. This accelerated progress is powerfully addictive, reinforcing the belief that they have found the secret to unlocking their ultimate physical potential. Beyond raw muscle, users are also chasing a particular look. Steroids can create a physique that is difficult, if not impossible, to achieve naturally. They can lead to a reduction in body fat while simultaneously building muscle, resulting in a hard, dense, and shredded appearance that is highly prized in bodybuilding and fitness culture. This visual transformation feeds the ego. It brings attention, admiration, and a sense of power and confidence that can be intoxicating. For someone who has always felt small or inadequate, this newfound physical presence can feel like a rebirth, a validation they have craved their entire lives. This is the seductive part of the Faustian Pact. The gains are tangible, measurable, and often celebrated. You lift more weight, you look bigger in the mirror, and you receive compliments from others in the gym. But what is not immediately visible is the toll being exacted on the body's internal machinery. The cardiovascular system is placed under immense strain. Steroids can increase bad cholesterol, LDL, and decrease good cholesterol, HDL, leading to atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of the arteries. They can also cause high blood pressure and thicken the walls of the heart's left ventricle, setting the stage for a future cardiac event. The damage doesn't stop there. The liver, which is responsible for filtering toxins, is forced to work overtime to process oral steroids, leading to liver damage and in some cases tumors. The endocrine system is thrown into disarray. The body, sensing an overabundance of external hormones, shuts down its own natural testosterone production. This can lead to testicular atrophy, infertility, and a state of hormonal collapse when the user comes off a cycle. The perceived benefits are merely the surface of a much darker, more dangerous reality. The gains are alone, and the interest rate is brutally high. The list of cautionary tales is long and heartbreaking. It is a grim ledger of champions and aspiring hopefuls whose pursuit of physical perfection led them to an early grave. Andreas Munzer, an Austrian professional bodybuilder, was a man famous for his incredibly low body fat and ripped physique. He was the embodiment of the extreme aesthetic. In 1996, at the age of 31, he was admitted to the hospital with severe stomach pains. He died shortly after from multiple organ failure. The autopsy revealed a catalog of horrors: a liver riddled with tumors the size of tennis balls, a heart that was double the normal size, and an almost complete absence of body fat. His body had been systematically destroyed from the inside. Another tragic figure is Mike Matarazzo, a popular IFBB professional bodybuilder known for his enormous arms and charismatic personality. He was forced to retire from the sport in his early 30s due to a heart condition. He underwent triple bypass surgery at just 38 years old. He spoke openly and regretfully about his heavy steroid use, warning younger generations about the dangers. He admitted he would have done it all differently if he could. Despite the medical interventions, his heart was too damaged. Mike Matarazzo died in 2014 while awaiting a heart transplant. He was 48. These are not isolated incidents. The world of professional wrestling, with its emphasis on larger-than-life physiques, is littered with similar stories. The premature deaths of stars like Eddie Guerrero, 38, heart failure, Chris Benoit, 40, a complex case involving brain damage and steroids, and countless others paint a stark picture of the long-term consequences. These were men who seemed invincible in the ring, modern-day gladiators admired by millions. Yet behind the curtain they were fighting a losing battle against the very substances they used to build their superhuman personas. The debt they accrued in their youth was called in far too early. The dark truth about steroids is that there is no free lunch. The promise of godlike strength and a perfect body is a siren song that has lured countless individuals onto the rocks. It is a controversial and deeply serious issue because it preys on insecurity and ambition. It offers a shortcut that leads directly to a cliff edge. The stories of Munzer and Matarazzo are not just sad anecdotes, they are stark warnings. They are the final Rechnung, the bill that comes due for a deal made in the shadows of the weight room. The pursuit of an impossible ideal can demand the ultimate price, a truth that is as undeniable as it is tragic.